When I was in high school, I tore my ACL. The first time I tore it, physically, the pain was incredible. I went through 9 months of rehab, finally got back. And then I tore my other one. It wasn't the pain that made me cry. It was the fact that I knew what I was about to have to go through again. I was finally healing from Carolyn. And then Ryan took his own life. When we found out that he'd hung himself, which is exactly what Carolyn did, it just really hit hard. It made me angry. I want this to get the conversation started because it has to start. The old stigmas need to just go. And that mental health is something that needs to be openly discussed and talked about, and that people shouldn't be discouraged to talk about it.
I don't think after Carolyn died, it was talked about enough. It was Carolyn died, we never talked about why. When Ryan was at such a low place, he didn't know who to turn to or how to react when he was so low and he was so sad, and he didn't know what else to do other than that suicide was an option.
You know, we sat down and we said, we have to do something. We've lost 2 of our friends, we're not gonna lose anyone else. Yeah, let's just say a quick thank you to God for all of our friends, our wonderful friends, this wonderful food, and for the big man, Deech, that brought us all together.
We got to practice what we preach.
Amen.
Cheers.
Love you guys. We're not gonna let this keep happening. We're gonna do what no one else is doing, and we're gonna start talking about it.
I think that every mother thinks their child is the best. I have 3 sons, and I can easily say he was the kindest, most gentle child you can ever hope for.
He never did any wrong, and it's really hard to say that because I don't want to talk down to my other boys or say that they were bad and Ryan was good, but nobody could beat what Ryan was. He was just a special child. That's all there is to it.
You would, you don't almost expect some kind of animosity for that, being like the middle child that's not perfect. With somebody like him, it's just like, you can't be mad at Ryan for anything. He's just too great of a guy.
Every time I think about my family, I mean, Ryan's always the first person I think about because, as I mentioned before, I mean, he was the rock for our family. I can line up 1,000 people that I thought would do this before he did.
Ryan was like everybody's best friend. I mean, he's one of those people that you could connect with instantly.
My relationship with Ryan, he was one of my best guy friends.
Somebody I would consider my best friend.
Yeah, I mean, he was one of my best friends.
We were really best friends.
He's one of my best guy friends.
He was my best guy friend.
My best friend.
He's my best friend. Best friends. Best friends.
Yeah, he's definitely one of my best friends.
He was the most, loved person I have ever had the honor of knowing. He would just walk into a room and it would light up.
So, who's to say? He made me a better person. And, our friendship, man. I don't think I'll ever have anything like that again. Because we could discuss anything, anything. How could he not tell me? How could he not tell me? I mean, he wouldn't talk about it. I mean, he was definitely battling anxiety.
There, for some reason, is a stigma on college campuses where it's a sign of weakness. And that shouldn't be the case whatsoever.
So Respond is an interactive class for students, faculty, and staff, teaching folks how to respond when somebody in their life is having a mental health issue or a crisis situation, so that they know how to step up and actually take action to either give that person the support they need in the moment or get them to a mental health professional here on campus or in the community.
Our focus here is to get students, faculty, and staff here at the university and in a university setting really tuned in and give you the confidence and skills that you need. That's what this is about.
It was amazing to see all of us collaborating together and striving. It's just that one extra step of how can we make a change on our campus and throughout the nation.
If our whole campus is actually talking about and thinking about mental health, we might be able to maintain mental health.
It was awesome figuring out all the different signs of suicide and figuring out how we can help at least just one other person in our community so they don't have to go through what Ryan did.
Hilton Head was our place where we became a close family, a family of what we always wanted to be, without any distractions.
I think we spent more time as the family, not only learning and talking and listening to each other, but also spending good quality time with each other and understanding how good of a family we actually had.
I know what it meant to Ryan, yes. That's easy. He loved that place. When you ask my kids what part of their life they loved the most, it was always going to Hilton Head.
I figured growing up that we'd go to Hilton Head together with our families or something. I know he loved the place. I figured we would definitely vacation there. And now that I'm not gonna get the chance with him living, this is as close as it's gonna get. And that gives me some closure.
Knowing they were gonna do that was amazing, but I found out yesterday there's going to be a rented bus with friends. And I got off the phone and I cried good tears. Because that's what Ryan would want.
When I first talked to Alex about coming down, you know, at first I was like, you know, I work for a publicly traded company, end of the quarter, like, I don't know if I can make this happen. And then I literally stopped myself in the middle of that thought process and said, there's no question I have to do this. You know, this is for my brother. There's nothing more important than my brother. There's nothing more important than this film right now. And there's nothing more important than being there and being a part of it.
Me and Ryan used to always get real excited to go to Harbor Town so we could go up to the lighthouse. You know, we'd run up the stairs, and me and Ryan thought it was the coolest idea. We're like, let's go to the lighthouse, you know. It's gonna be hard being there for the first time without Ryan. But, you know, what would that lighthouse be if I didn't have Ryan? It would just be a lighthouse. You know, it's like, what was, yeah, I have this pain now, but from Ryan's death, but what about all the, like, the joy that I've had with him? I know for 100% that I'm gonna see Ryan again. And I mean, there's days where I even genuinely get more happy than sad of just thinking of how exciting it's gonna be when I get to see him again.
Waking up yesterday still in my mind. Yesterday's gone too long, I have to find a way to see the distance, not blinded eye. Promise the future was the reason why. I had to see the truth too late to make things right. Breaking up, no turning back, I've opened my
I want people to realize that a guy like that, who was smart, determined, handsome, had a bright future ahead of him, can be brought to this.
Start the conversation. And show people that we're there for them. So that Ryan didn't go home on that Friday night thinking that he was alone in the world.
a way to settle my mistakes. If I didn't hear your cry, help me hear theirs, ours this time. Need to figure out in time, not too late to wonder why. No pretending who's lost their way, keeping secrets until you whisper.
So, what are we doing wrong? What are hospitals doing wrong? What are friends doing wrong? What are families doing wrong? How can we prevent this? And I think this is a step.